Nah, I'm just going to sit it down. I'm going to sit it down right here.
What's the record for the longest pick?
You did not. No, I had no idea. This is what happens when you live stream with Hendo, because your co-host, a show with him, you just don't know what's coming. That's all I can say.
I thought it was hilarious. Didn't you?
I am still in disbelief of how great this DT was able to drop into coverage and get that pick. Someone said on X, Michael Pierce has more picks this season than Brandon Stevens.
Don't do it.
I'm just saying, don't come for the messenger. I'm just saying what I read. And I was like, okay, maybe, I don't know if that's true. I'm like, Brandon Stevens had a pick, right?
He should have had a pick in Cincinnati. They stole it from him.
But he doesn't have one. On his stat sheet right now, I said to myself when I read that, Brandon Stevens does have a pick. I remember it was earlier in the season. He has one, right? Anyway, good evening, everyone. Good evening.
What's going on? How are you today, Yolanda?
I am great. Thank you for asking. How are you, Hendo? And how's everybody in the chat?
I am wonderful. Listen, I'm not Hendo Stradamus. I'm not clairvoyant. I don't see into the future, but I could have sworn I predicted that this was going to happen. I could have sworn I predicted who the Ravens were going to play in the first round of the playoffs. Did I not tell you that?
You did. You did. You did.
I told Suge. Suge, when we did our Steel Conspiracy, it was the last 4 weeks of the season, and he asked me to predict the Ravens' schedule and what their win total was going to be. And he asked me about the Steelers, and I told him, I said, the Steelers are going to lose all 4 of their games. And he was like, man, you're just a hater. You just don't like us. I said, no, looking at the way you guys are playing and looking at who you have to play, you're going to lose your last 4 games. You had the Eagles, you had us, you had the Chiefs, and you had the Bengals who were fighting for their playoff lives. You're going to lose. And they lost each and every game.
Sure did.
They gave the division away to us. We went up and snatched it. Now we go to Baltimore, Pittsburgh, part 3. How you feeling about that?
Oh, okay. Before I tell you how I'm feeling, I see you, Sean Coles. When you say you can't make comments or I have to say what you want me to say, no, you can make comments.
Yeah, why can't you make comments?
Yeah, I don't know why. Who would have told you couldn't? I see your comments. My comment got deleted.
Who deleted it?
Yeah, I don't know who deleted it.
I don't see Danity in here.
Yeah, I only have Danity as my moderator, so that would have been it because I didn't delete your comment. So, But if whatever comment you made, drop it right now. Yeah. Even if it was from yesterday, it's still relevant because we're kind of just going to go over that a little bit. Namely, we're going to talk about Odafe Oweh getting his double. You guys need to call him Mr. Double Digits. Okay. That's what you can call him now. Put some respect on my guy's name.
All right.
Anyway.
Let's see who we got in the chat. All right. Nigerian Nightmare, what's going on? Hey, Suits, how you feeling? Sean, always a pleasure. Kamal, Anthony Bolton, Brandon. Nice win over the 49ers. Nice win. Appreciate that one. Anthony Miller. What's going on, Slyster? Raven 76B more. We got Philip in the house. Agnes. How you doing, Agnes? I know you're going to jump on the Yolanda bandwagon and talk about
Odafe, Mr. Double Digits.
Whatever. Lady Laura, what's going on?
I'm glad you're doing well, Lady Laura. I think she went to the game. Did you go to the game, Lady Laura Baltimore? Were you out there in that cold? Oh.
Yes. Jerry Green in the house. Tone Smoke. Imani. Yes. I want 3 pick sixes in this game.
That's right. And one of them can be Michael Pierce. Well, maybe not the 6 part. He gonna take a knee. He gonna look down the field and say, whoa, that's like 70, 80 yards. We're gonna take a knee right here. But yeah, I'm with you, Lenny. So Hendo, you asked the question and I kind of got sidetracked because I had
you sidetracked yourself.
I said I got sidetracked, because Odafe Oweh can do that to you sometimes. What's up, the truth? But how am I feeling about it? Well, I'm with you, Lenny. I feel like I don't want my team to be one and done. That's for sure. And to ignore that we might not have Zay Flowers. I saw a tweet earlier that said he's got last we heard, was a sprain of the knee or a strained sprain, and that's a designation of week to week. Now we should be getting MRI results either today, tomorrow, kind of give us a better picture. But I mean, if we play on Saturday, today's Sunday, like the likelihood of Zay being available or even being ready to play is slim. So I don't feel great, but I got to will myself, right? I got to will myself, and you, my family here, my Ravens flock family can kind of, help me regain some of that confidence that I'm trying to, make sure it's still there.
Listen, I was initially bummed by that situation. But the thing that gives me a little bit of hope is, one, Rashad Bateman has remained healthy for the portion of the season, and he's played very well. Mark Andrews, he's come back from the injury. He's done well. But more importantly, the fact that we're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, their offense has sputtered. Now, first it was, George Pickens missed a couple games. When he comes back, the offense is going to get back on track, and they have not. They have sputtered. Russ has looked terrible. Russ looked like his first year in Denver terrible. So to me, I don't think that it's going to be a shootout. Now, we did just put up 30-something points on them last time. And more importantly, our defense is playing a lot better. And we're getting turnovers. That is the one thing that this team has been missing throughout the season. No matter who we played, no matter how well the defense played, we may get a turnover here and there, but now they're starting to come in bunches. Nate Wiggins got his first taste of an interception, and he returned it for a touchdown. So I think now the only thing that will give me pause, the only thing that may bring some trepidation is, of course, your boy Brandon Stevens. That's the only thing. If the Steelers decide to pick on him, will Zach Orr have enough wherewithal to give him help over the top? Will they kind of move him around? I don't know what they need to do, but outside of that, missing Zay should not derail this team, because the Ravens this season have been historic, not only just for the Ravens organization, but throughout the NFL. Let me read you some stats. That's some stats that I wrote down right before, just to let you know. So the 2024 Baltimore Ravens this season have produced 7,224 yards, which is third most all time in NFL history. The third most yards in NFL history, beating the 2000 St. Louis Rams. Now, they were known as the greatest show on turf. They had Kurt Warner, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Marshall Faulk. Like, they had some of the greatest players in NFL history, and this Ravens team outgained them. Also, we are the first team in NFL history to have a 4,000-yard passer, have 4,000 yards passing, and have 3,000 yards rushing. First team in NFL history. Lamar is the first quarterback to have 4,000 yards passing, 900 yards rushing. He is the first player in Baltimore Ravens history to obtain 5,000 total yards in a season. And lastly, which to me proves Lamar Jackson's MVP case, he is the first quarterback. The NFL is over 100 years old. 100. Lamar Jackson is the first quarterback in NFL history to have over 40 passing touchdowns and less than 5 interceptions.
Yep.
The first. And everyone that has 40 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, they've all won MVPs. So this is why I'm not worried. Yes, I would love to have Zay out there and what he brings to the table, but I do think that we have players that are more than suitable enough to step up and take his place, especially for this game versus the Steelers. Now, in the second round, we'll have that discussion then, but as of right now, I ain't scared.
Yeah, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. What I think about is, I know Zay Flowers has been a huge contribution to our team this season. Hey, Tanja, good evening. And it's going to be a loss for sure. But just like Robert said, just like Agnes, yesterday when Zay went out, we did okay. We did what we needed to do. Mm-hmm. My thoughts, and this is what I want to hear from you in the chat, and as well as you, Hendo. While the Steelers have been, like you said, sputtering in the last few weeks, they had a difficult schedule in December. And it's no surprise that they went 0-4. It's not a surprise to me. There's always the thought of a team, especially an AFC North adversary, having that get-right game against you. What are your thoughts on that? going into this game without Zay, knowing how Brandon Stevens has been, I don't want to say it, but I'll say it, a liability. There was a defensive series last night that the entire series, the offense, every play, they targeted Brandon Stevens, and he just completely botched the assignment every time, and they kept going for him. They kept going for him. And like you said, what did Zach Orr do? Left him right there. If George Pickens finally figures it out with Russell Wilson,
right,
and they're able to put up points because Brandon Stevens he's not cutting it, and we don't make in-game adjustments there, that can be a problem. So what are your thoughts?
Yes. First, Alfonso, yes, we are live streaming the game.
Yes.
My thoughts are, I'm sorry. They can target Brandon Stevens. Brandon Stevens has been the most targeted cornerback in the league over the last 2 seasons. We've still won games. For me, it's more about Russell Wilson and his inability to not turn the ball over. Even in the Ravens game, he had the fumble, he had the pick. So for me, it's not, listen, they can go off. They can get 10 catches for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns, maybe. But this offense, the way it is designed right now, if we stick to our strengths, we're going to score 30, 40 points. So those 2 touchdowns, if they can get them, if they can get that on our defense, listen, we bend, but we don't break. Ever since, week 11, this defense has been balling out of control. Zach Orr has figured some things out. He's found out how to utilize all of his players. And for me, yes, mostly all of his players. The one thing that he has not done is he hasn't figured out the Brandon Stevens conundrum. Like, stop putting him on number 1 receivers. Stop it. And I understand you want to put Marlowe in the slot. You want to play him there. Move him outside. Put Marlowe on the best wide receiver that they have. I'll take my chances with Brandon Stevens covering Mike Williams or Calvin Austin. I'll take my chances with that. I don't want Brandon Stevens on George Pickens. So even with that said, it doesn't scare me. Their offense does not scare me. Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, they're not going to be able to run the ball against us. So they're going to become one-dimensional at this point. And with that, we scheme up the right things. Listen, we drop all pro Michael Pierce back in the coverage. It's a wrap. It's done.
Okay.
It's done. We got a 450-pound cornerback out there. You can't stop that.
Tanja, Stevens had the nerve to be on the dub cam. That made me so mad when I saw that. I thought I was the only one. I was like, you have the nerve to get on the dub cam. Like, I just want you to walk straight. Just go straight to the locker room. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Just keep walking. That's what I wanted from him. But yeah, he had the nerve to get on the dub cam. Like he did something. But yeah, I saw that. And I said, you know what? Maybe I'm being overly critical. But I'm not alone.
You're not. My criticism for Brandon Stevens has always been, no matter what happens, a quarterback could throw a pass incomplete. And he's up there. And I'm like, bro, it was an incomplete pass. He did that last night. And guess what happened? Next play. Touchdown. And I'm like, bro, concentrate on your job. No, I don't wish we had him now.
Yeah. I think, like Imani said, in Zay's absence, DDSQ mentioned earlier, if it's a knee sprain and we don't really know what it is, we're still waiting for like official word, right? But that's kind of what's going on in the rumor mill, that it's a knee strain or a sprain. If it's that, like DDSQ said, that's 4 to 6 weeks. His season would be done. It's a shot in the dark that maybe Zay could return, if that's what it is, could possibly maybe return on the day of the Super Bowl. Because yes, we're going to the Super Bowl. But again, we need to kind of start thinking now, who needs to have a really good game for us in Zay's absence. And Imani said, Isaiah Likely, Rashad Bateman, and shout out to Rashad Bateman. Shout out to him. Had a great game last night. He's going to have to do more of that against the Steelers. So let's go ahead and figure it out. Hello there, Florence, Equip Institute. You have an email coming your way just as soon as this show is done. Yeah, me too. I wanted to do like that at the camera. I was like, he got the nerve to get up here and talk like he whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, we're going to have to rely on our other offensive weapons to step up and have a big game in Zay's absence. It's a big loss, right? Let's call it what it is. He's our number one wide receiver. He is that speedy, shifty, yards after the catch receiver that we're going to miss him. We sure are. But like you said, Hendo, this offense is built with multiple weapons. And I think it was someone in here, can't remember. Tone Smoke. Thank you. We need to bottle up the run game and continue to use bottle that thing up early. Get it going. And like Hendo says, continue to dominate the run game and set us up at the goal line for the pass. Get us ready for the touchdown. Whoever the target is going to be open, that's what we need to do. So,
it's probably going to be Bateman. I mean,
it's going to have to be.
Bateman seems to be Lamar's go-to target when they get inside the 20-yard line. Like the chemistry that we thought was not there because he doesn't show up, they found it, and they found it at the right time. It's just a big blow if Zay is going to have to miss 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, yes, believing that we can get to the Super Bowl, yes, we'd have to get creative with the play calling. I think that would fall more on the coaches. Also, I would like to put a little more pressure on Tylan Wallace. I think Tylan Wallace, he's in his 4th year. He's been with the organization. He knows Lamar. They have some sort of chemistry. I think this is his time to step up. Also because this is a contract year for him. If he wants to remain in the NFL, if he wants to remain a Raven, I think he has to show in spot duty, in emergency duty, that he needs to come in. He doesn't have to go out and get 100 yards, but he has to do some things to keep the defense honest. To just know, listen, we're not going to Andrews every time. We're not going to Bateman. He needs to be able to come in there and that's not the
I was thinking that Killer Cam. Killer Cam. I was thinking that as he was talking, but I really wanted to just
but that's
allow
the thing.
him to get his point across and then let me think about that. But I'm just like,
I don't need him to be that guy. I just need him to be able to make a play or two. Like I said, 3 catches, 35 yards. At least the threat of him being out there. Because if he's out there and they're not throwing it to him, they're not going to guard him. They're going to believe he's an afterthought. You just need somebody to be able to make the defense think. It's not always about the players on the field. It's about the scheme and where they think the play is going. So, listen, he had that big game versus Cincinnati. He had 3 catches, 105 yards, and a touchdown. So he has the capability, but I'm not expecting him to be that guy. He would be 3rd. He would be 4th in a pecking order, possibly. If Justice Hill comes back, we can target him if he's healthy enough to play. Keaton Mitchell, we can target him. I don't need him to be that guy. I don't need him to be one of the first 4 guys, but I do need him to potentially present himself as a threat.
Yeah. Imani wants to know, will Justice Hill be back? They've been very hush-hush about injuries as of late. Justice Hill, we don't really know what's going on. Today is the day after. They're supposed to have MRI results today on Zay. Still haven't heard anything. So I don't know. Will Justice be back? I don't know. But one thing that Killer Cam, that was kind of going through my mind as Hendo was talking, we don't need, like you said, we don't need him to be that guy. We don't need Tylan to be that guy. But we do need him to be some sort of a threat, right? But this is a playoff game now. The intensity level has ramped up 10 times. And Suge is in here. Hey there, Suge. He brought up a good point. He believes, and this is him, he believes TJ Watt is going to have a great game. So that leads me to the question. This offensive line, we saw how they were in the regular season. Now it's going to be amplified even more. A playoff game, your season on the line. And Suge says Watt's going to have an amazing game. I don't know about that. But, what are your thoughts? Leave it in the chat. And if you're watching on replay, thank you. Leave your comments down below. Let us know. Going against this defensive front in a playoff game, how are you feeling about our O-line?
Man, listen, I want to apologize to Nelson Aguilar. I forgot he was on the team. I ain't gonna hold you. I forgot the man was on the team. So somebody just mentioned it. He was like, Nelly. I'm like, Nelly the rapper? Oh, okay. But as far as the offensive line goes, listen, we have a Pro Bowl center, a Pro Bowl alternate left tackle, and a Pro Bowl alternate right guard.
Right guard.
Hey, what more can we say? But more importantly, and I know Suge may have something to say about this. Listen, TJ Watt is an amazing talent. He is one of the best pass rushers and disruptors in this game today.
Yes.
But in the last 2 games, he's been handled by a rookie. Roger Rosengarten has handled him. Now, I know somebody is going to say, well, the last game, TJ Watt wasn't 100%. But the game we played them the first time, TJ Watt was 100%. And Roger nullified him. So I'm not worried about that at all. It's just for some reason, he just can't beat the rookie. Highsmith, Ogunjobi, Hayward, those may be some problems. But if we look back to the last game, we did well enough. And we have the equalizer. Somebody said, listen, let's just play a 2-man game. We're going to Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen this thing. Listen, the rest of the Bulls, y'all do whatever y'all can. But Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, we're going to feed off of them offensively. And with those two, I'll put my money on them over everybody else. So I'm not really worried because, like I said in previous streams, Lamar and Derrick Henry make this offensive line look better than it actually is. And it would also help if Todd Monken gets in his bag and calls plays correctly to kind of compensate for the lack of talent that we may have, especially at left guard. But yeah, I'll take that. And yes, we need no drops because I was looking at some and then this is how crazy it is that we always use the phrase, it be your own people, right? And for me, I don't know what it is about a lot of these Baltimore Ravens publications. They love Lamar, but I don't think they like Lamar. Because I was reading about, their good and bad takes from the game, and they were talking about the misses that Lamar Jackson had. But they praised Mark Andrews for his catches, but they didn't mention any of his drops. But they'll always talk about what Lamar didn't do, but there's certain players, they don't mention what they didn't do right. So, but yeah, we need to clean that up, and it's only going to get colder. So it's going to be a little bit harder to catch the ball. The ball is going to be rock solid, pause. And I don't know if they need to practice with frozen balls or whatever, but that needs not present itself during the playoffs because this is a game we could possibly lose. I know we just beat them, and I know we're on a roll right now, but we could possibly lose this game if we don't tighten up on some of the things. The penalties, somebody mentioned it earlier, 10 penalties for 83 yards. We had seemed to have gotten a hold on it at some point, but for some reason, it's starting to creep its head back in. So hopefully in this next week, hopefully we don't play Saturday. Hopefully, it's my birthday. Hopefully we can play Saturday, and by then we shall get these things cleaned up. That's right, Dre. What's up, man?
Let's hope so, because again, this is a team that beat us once, and then we beat them. And for us to just go into this game saying, "Oh man, hands down, we got this. No worries. I'm not concerned. I don't have no issue. We automatic win for us. Right. On to the next one. On to the next round." I think that's a little reckless. Just because this team is coached by, and I know some of the Steelers fans are probably not really happy with Tomlin right now.
Right.
But in terms of coaching, right, it seems like Tomlin has this team prepared for the most part when they play the Ravens. That is something that we're going to need to, and we don't have a lot of time. We have 1 week. A little less than a week, because I think, why do I have a funny feeling it's going to be on your birthday? I think it's going to be on Saturday.
They always play my birthday.
Hey, Flex, I don't feel good about playing them. I mean, I don't feel great, right? I don't feel great about it.
All right.
But at the end of the day, this may be, I know MDT Sports, I was feeling the same way. I was like, oh, if I could have had my preference, I would have taken the Chargers. Let me have the Chargers. I would have felt just a little bit better. I didn't say a lot. I just said a little bit better. I know J.K. Dobbins is out there doing his thing. I get it. But I'm just saying.
They looking real. Listen, I think that Quentin Johnston has finally found his place as a wide receiver. They're utilizing Ladd McConkey. If J.K. can stay healthy, and that defense is playing a lot better. And looking at Justin Herbert, I think he's getting a little more comfortable in that situation. Of course, we would still beat them, but I think right now, offensively, they are playing a lot better than the Steelers are. And listen, it ain't scary. So I'm not scared. I mean, anybody can lose any game at any time. And when you plan division foes, you know each other very well. And this is going to be the third time that we face each other. So anything can happen. But if we're going talent-wise, you guys do not compare, Suge. You guys don't come close to the talent that we have, especially just starting with the quarterback position. Then we go to the running back position. Hands down, we have you guys beat. The only thing that you may have on us is TJ Watt.
And Highsmith.
But we got Odafe Oweh.
I was just about to say it. You have TJ Watt, but we've got double-digit Odafe Oweh. DPG, thanks for being here. Why are Ravens fans so scared? I can't speak for Ravens fans. I can only voice my apprehension. It's not that I'm scared. So I want to make sure that I'm clear. It's not that I'm scared. I'm just a realist. And the realism is they beat us once. We beat them once. The realism is we came out yesterday very flat on offense to start the game. Now, we did get rolling. We sure did. And Derrick Henry had an amazing second half yesterday. But what I've seen from this offense is this. And if I don't know what offense is going to be put out there on the field, that gives me a little concern. Now, I'm going to push that aside and focus on let's hope that Todd Monken remembers the sting of last year in the AFC Championship and makes the necessary adjustments if they are needed. But to answer your question, why are we so scared? I can speak for me and tell you that it's because history is your best teacher and it's your best indicator, right, of where you are. And so unless we learn from the mistakes, and seemingly we're still making the same ones, i.e. penalties, i.e. drops, i.e. misconnections, miscommunication. If we're still making those mistakes in week 18 heading into the playoffs, there's an absolute reason, I think, a valid reason for being a little unsure, still confident in your team, but just having a little bit of reservation.
Right. And to your point, if history is the greatest teacher, what history tells me is the Steelers haven't won a playoff game since 2016.
Yep.
So history tells me they're going to lose another one. And listen, Suge, yes, you weren't supposed to be in this situation by your omission. A lot of us thought the Steelers over the years were a quarterback away from making the playoffs. A lot of us thought that. You went out and got the quarterback and you made the playoffs. So you may be in the minority that thought that you weren't supposed to be here, but you are here. So I understand you're trying to soften the blow for yourself. You're making yourself ready to when you lose. So you can say, yeah, we lost, but I didn't think we would be in this position anyway. And it's okay. And as far as I was watching the Broncos play today against the Chiefs, and I understand the Chiefs played a lot of backups, but the way that the rookie Bo Nix look today, they might beat Buffalo. So we may not even get to see Buffalo in the second round, to be quite honest with you.
I mean, they're starting to be a little bit more quiet. A little quieter on the Bills defense, on the Bills front, because they have been chirping all this time. It's been a little quiet out there today. It's been a little bit quiet. Yeah, DPG, we have the number one offense in the NFL and top 5 of all time. We sure do, but that doesn't make us without mistakes. Yeah. And this is a playoff game where the team who makes the least amount of mistakes, the team who makes the least or commits the least amount of penalties is most likely going to win. So you can have all of that. Last year, we had the MVP of the league.
And the number one defense.
And where did we stand at the AFC Championship game? So all of that is good. And I'm not taking anything away from that. But it's about what you do, how you perform in that moment. Because you only get that one game. That's all you have. But like Agnes says, we are going to win, and we are going to win big, because double-digit Odafe Oweh is coming out. He is ready. He is motivated. Michael Pierce is motivated. So we have a lot going for us. Shout out one more time to my guy, Odafe Oweh. For those who said he couldn't get double digits sacks this season, where are you? Show yourselves, present yourselves, and let's have a conversation about it.
Is that what we're doing?
That's it.
Is this to talk about the Ravens and the playoff matchup with the Steelers, or is this a pump Odafe Oweh up? Is this what this is? Is this that session? Did we reach that portion of the show?
I mean, it's just a little bit of both, I think. But if I'm not telling the truth, if I've misspoke, please let me know. But I'm pretty sure it's double digits.
You sure it's double digits? Listen. I know that we're gonna win. It's my birthday. It's the only thing that I want for my birthday. I don't want anything else other than a Ravens win, and the Ravens are going to the Super Bowl. But they let me down in 2019 on my birthday, so I'm gonna hold reservations. But I do see us going into this game, and the thing that's different from years past, understandably, 2019 we had the NFL's number 1 offense, lost in the first round that we played. The difference now is we have Lamar Jackson playing at peak performance in this season, where we didn't think that Lamar could get a whole lot better. We knew he could get better. We knew that he could become a competent passer. No one saw him doing what he actually did, and this is what gives me promise going forward for the playoffs. Listen, Lamar had 4,172 yards passing. That is second most in Ravens history, behind Benny Testaverde by 5 yards. If he'd got 6 more yards passing, he would have the franchise record for passing yards. He has the franchise record for touchdowns. He's thrown 41 touchdowns, which is tied for second in the NFL right now. 4 interceptions, one of which was his fault that I'll credit him with. But if Rashad Bateman would have ran the right route, wouldn't have that one. So technically, I know it's technically, he would have 0 interceptions. He would have 41 touchdowns and no interceptions on the year. So that lets me know that his field vision, his leadership, his passing game management has upped its level. Now, the only thing that we need to do now is actually see it manifest itself in the playoffs, because we have not always seen the best version of Lamar in the playoffs. But I think this is the year that he has taken command of this offense. He's taken control of this team, and he's actually, what's that for? I thought you made a face for some reason. This is the year that I think Lamar is actually going to prove everybody wrong. And this is why Sean is my dog. Thank you, lady. This is why Sean is my dog.
Sean, there's no buy-in here. We know Hendo is not 25, not 35, not 45. But anyway, I'm just saying, let's keep it real. But that's very kind of you. I wanted to say hello again to Robert. Yes, your guy, Chris Board, Pro Bowl alternate.
Yes.
All right, Robert. Yeah. So, all right. You called it. You did several weeks ago. We were on here saying, who's going to step up for these Ravens? Who's going to help defend the middle of the field? And Robert said, watch my guy, Chris Board. And I'm like, all right. Okay, let's see. RG says, Yolanda, that's over. It ended yesterday. So yes, it is technically over, but I do get 24 hours. I'm going to extend that into 48 hours to celebrate my guy getting double-digit sacks. Can he, it's playoff time. Can he bring it? He can, and he will. Just like I said, he was going to bring double digits, and people, he is not. He's terrible. He's horrible. First round draft pick. That's a bust. He's a waste. So yes, it's over. It just ended last night. He just got it last night. But to your point, and not just him, he's not the only one who needs to bring it, RG. What about Roquan Smith? Does he need to bring it?
They all need to bring it.
I was about to. I'm just saying other players who had really, really, really good seasons, maybe a season last year, and then this year it's kind of been like, there was a little fall off. There was a little bit of drop off there in the play. But yes, everybody does, Archie, not just not Odafe. But yes, he absolutely needs to get to the quarterback. Russell Wilson needs to have his tail on the ground several times during that game. Make his day or night miserable. Make him uncomfortable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and two of the biggest keys: offensive line and the ascension of Zach Orr as a defensive play caller. Yes, there were times this season where a lot of people wanted him fired. They thought he should be gone, but credit to John Harbaugh, he wasn't going to do anything anyway. But he stuck it through, and now we're seeing the fruits of all that labor. So, if the defense can keep up what they're doing, if the offense can continue what they're doing, and ride Lamar and ride Derrick Henry during each and every game, I don't see anybody beating us. Patrick Mahomes didn't make the Pro Bowl this year, and people are crying about it like he had statistically a great season. Understandably, at the time, his team was 15-1, but if you put his stats up against Allen's, Burrow's, Lamar's, it didn't stack up. So he didn't make the Pro Bowl, and he's made game-winning plays. He's been clutch. 15 wins, he's been clutch. The defense has been great. But I don't see them doing anything offensively that we can't keep up with. I don't see anything that the Bills can do that we can't keep up with. We already shut the Bills down. We beat them 35-10. We shut down James Cook, and when you shut down James Cook in that running game, you make Josh Allen a little one-sided. Yes, he can run the ball, but he's not running against us because we have big, fast, physical guys that can keep up with him. So if we can get past the Steelers and we make it to the Bills, if they beat Denver, we beat Denver too if we play them. If we make it to them, we're going to see KC in the championship game. I have no doubts about that. And people can try to say, well, Lamar didn't do much versus the Steelers the last game that they played. He had 2 touchdowns. I think that's doing something.
Yeah, certainly.
He had a 48-yard rushing touchdown. That's doing something. But, of course, it was all Derrick Henry. And I know that's going to be the narrative when the Ravens win the Super Bowl that, Derrick Henry was the reason. Like, all teams that won a Super Bowl didn't have a complimentary piece. My favorite player of all time used to be John Elway. I used to love the Denver Broncos. One of the first Super Bowls I ever saw was the Broncos versus the Washington Redskins. And they got the brakes beat off of them. And John Elway was the only quarterback in NFL history, in my opinion, to will a team to a Super Bowl by himself. They didn't have a defense. They didn't have an offense. They didn't have run game. He willed them to a Super Bowl. They never won one until they got Terrell Davis. So don't sit here and tell me, they got Derrick Henry now. It's different. Everybody needs help. Everybody needs help.
That's
so
right.
If you want to make that excuse, go ahead and make that excuse. When we are Super Bowl champions, just know, I don't care how you call it, just remember to say Super Bowl champion Lamar Jackson.
Absolutely. Yeah. Someone mentioned it in the chat. The pass rush, the run defense is key. Pass rush is going to be, a dominant pass rush is key. Absolutely, RG. It is. It is, because I think when you have a dominant pass rush, you take some of the pressure off of your DBs and, to a lesser degree or lesser extent, your linebackers. So if we know that Brandon Stevens struggles, let's get some help up front. So, so that, why'd you make that face, Endo?
No reason.
Oh, so yeah, absolutely. It is definitely an effective pass rush is key. Kyle Van Noy, we need to see my guy, David Ajabo. We're calling you out, David. What can you do? What can you do for us during this game?
You want me to tell you what he can do?
No. Go ahead.
David Ajabo can be a trivia question for the Ravens all time. Who did the Ravens draft instead of a productive player in the second round? That's what he can do. He has shown me nothing. Everybody got excited. Oh, he had a sack in 2 games. He did this. He's going to come back next year. No, he's not. Oh, if he wasn't injured, he would. No. No, it was just the wrong choice. Bad choice. I don't expect anything from him. If he gives us something, excellent. I don't expect anything from him. I expect, honestly, Kyle Van Noy and Odafe Oweh to spearhead this pass rush. Hopefully, Nnamdi can revert to last season's form and give us that inside push, because we're going to need it. Like, the Steelers aren't going to be an easy out.
No.
At all.
No.
At all.
No, it's not a cakewalk. It's not a walk in the park. Steelers, they earned their spot in the playoffs. Ravens earned theirs. So it's going to be 2 division rivals going tete-a-tete for an entire game. The team who makes I said it before, the team who makes the least amount of mistakes, commits the least amount of penalties, they're absolutely going to have the advantage. So we got to come out here and execute. That's just it. But we have, on paper, if you look at the talent, you want to compare quarterback to quarterback. Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson.
Right.
I don't even think we need to have a conversation there. Our running back room to theirs, still not a conversation. Again, the strength of the Steelers comes from that defensive front, that D-line. That is their strength.
Yes.
As long as we can do enough, as long as our O-line can do enough, and when they fall short, as I anticipate they will from time to time, it's going to be up to Lamar at that point to put on the Superman cape and extend a play, make something happen like he normally miraculously does. That's what I think is going to need to happen. Oh, we're playing Sunday at 8, a Saturday at 8. All right. Well, make sure. Thank you. Thank you for the update. We were hoping that we would get the update while we were going live. Make sure you come by on Hendo's. It's Hendo's birthday. I'm not going to say his age because then he'll frown up at me.
I'm
But
not, but I just,
we just
what if,
know that it's not 40 and we just know that it's not 30 or 35, 25 or whatever it was.
what
Make
if I wanted to run the streets? What if I wanted to be out the streets for my birthday?
You just said someone asked earlier in the chat. They said, "Are you streaming?" I think it was
Yes,
Alfonso. Are you streaming the game? And you said, "Yes, we are live streaming that game."
I understand it, but it could have been like afternoon game. What if I want to be out in the street tonight?
Then you should have
You know
said
how I
that.
love being in the club.
Then I think you should have said it depends, Alfonso, on what day and time we play. Because if it's my birthday and it's at night, I might want to run the street.
Well, luckily I don't run the street, so we good.
Oh, wait, Suge, we do have talent. I wasn't going to go down the whole list. I mean, yes, you all have George Pickens, but he's dysfunctional right now. Incredibly. I watched a presser. It was a couple of days ago. Someone asked him, it said, hey, George, Russ said that you guys weren't really on the same page there during that last segment or, the last series. And what happened there? This is his response. Is that what Russ said or is that what you said? And the reporter said, no, that's what he said. And he walked off and his agent was there and she said, thank you all. Have a good day. So now you can't tell me. I mean, so he can be a fantastic, phenomenal player. But if he and his quarterback are on polar opposite ends of the universe, and what do you expect? You expect more of what you saw yesterday. So,
all right.
I mean, yeah.
Zay has apparently a knee sprain. We'll find out sometime later in the week because with John Harbaugh, you never know when he's actually going to tell you the truth about what the injury is going to be. But we don't expect him to actually play this next game versus Steelers, possibly not even in the divisional round matchup. So is that?
I don't know if that's what happened, Suge. I'm just saying, I don't know if that's what Russ said. I didn't listen to the whole press conference and to hear what he had to say. I just caught the tail end of it. It came on my news feed. I was like, oh, there's George Pickens. Let me see what he has to say. Whether it's true or not, I'm not here to decipher. I'm just relaying what the body language of George Pickens, his commentary when he was asked about it, all the other stuff, Suge, I don't know because I didn't stick around to find out. But yeah. It just wasn't a good look. I'm sorry.
Shout out to the super chat from the chef.
Thank you.
For donating to Yolanda's channel for 99 cents. Listen, if you are watching on my channel, if you are watching on Ravens Talk with Yolanda, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It would help us out tremendously. Listen, for my birthday, I'm trying to get 10,000 subs. I know it's not going to happen, but listen, let's get as close as we possibly can. So if you like what we're doing, if you appreciate what we're saying, or even if you just feel like it's just a cool place to hang out and chill, hit that subscribe button.
Yeah. What's on Amazon Prime? Hot
Game.
Boy.
I believe the game is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that's a sad state of affairs. Now you have to have streaming services to watch football.
I think that's the way of the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, Suge, you're getting into the facts. I'm not really here to debate the facts because I don't have all of them. I don't know what the reporter was saying. I don't know what her mens rea. Oh Lord, I'm starting to speak legalese, but I don't know what she was thinking at the time she was thinking it. That I'm not getting into. I'm just saying it's showing that George Pickens and Russell Wilson, those two, they're just not in sync. Now, why they're not in sync, that's not my business. I just can only tell you that, listen, they can't put it together for a full game. Whether that's on Russ or whether that's on George Pickens, that's a conversation for another day. But the bottom line is we're still winning on Saturday.
Praise saying I want to debate facts. No, Suge, you don't like debating facts. Then you get in your feelings and want to get mad. That's what really happens.
We have Andre. Andre, you are welcome, but you cannot absolutely wish any injury on any player.
No, we don't do that.
We don't do that. But as long as you're not doing that, Andre, you're welcome. I'm personally telling George Pickens for everybody talking bad about. I mean, go ahead and call him up if you got him on speed dial. Call him and tell him check me out, check out my show, and tell him to hit the like button too while he's at it.
I'm sorry. You don't think George Pickens don't know what he's doing? You don't think that he's not cognizant of what's happening? He knows what he's doing. He likes the attention.
Of course. Of course. Now, again, Suge might say, well, that's not really true. And that's not really what had happened was all of that may be. The point I'm trying to make is he's garnering attention, and let's hope that he gets the attention that he wants, just not in the spotlight of him being a sufficient pass catcher. So
I mean,
that's it.
he's talented. Let's not get it twisted.
Of course.
When his head is on straight and he's
Yeah.
actually in the flow of the game, he's dangerous. I watched him last season. I think during a 3-game stretch, have like 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. Like he was just balling out of control. It's just you have to get him involved early on and often. And if he's not, he just disjoints himself from the game. Like he doesn't want to be involved. He starts pouting. So hopefully when we play them, if we can keep him catchless throughout the first quarter or the first 3 drives, maybe his mind will just wander. He'll get a personal foul penalty. Like you can't count on him. I love George Pickens and his intensity.
Yeah.
I love him and his block and his playmaking ability, but just his mentality is what's hurting the team.
For sure. For sure. Oh, I got to drop the link. I will go into it. I will do that. I will drop the link. I'll go into Hendo's live stream, and I'll drop it into my.
You sure?
It's on my channels. Let me go and grab that real quick. I should have these saved.
You should. Listen, prior proper planning prevents poor judgment on your part. Always remember that. I learned that in the military. But listen, all we're doing now is speculating, we're talking. You know what I mean? It's fun for me to talk to Steelers fans because while they're winning, they have so much to say. But as soon as we start to win, it's always you're delusional. We're a better team. It's always an excuse. When we lose, it's like, yo, y'all beat us. You had beaten us 8 out of the last 9 games. Now we're 1-0 and we're riding the streak. So we'll see come Saturday when everything is on the line, when it's win or go home. We'll see which team has the talent. We'll see which team has the coaching. We'll see which team is meant to move on. Because like I said, the Steelers have not won a playoff game, thank you, Yolanda, since 2016. And let us not ever, ever, ever forget you lost to Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns. Don't tell me about the talent that you didn't have because Ben Roethlisberger was the quarterback. That's your guy. But you lost to the Browns, a franchise that hadn't won a playoff game in like 15 years. But y'all lost to them. And you haven't won since 2016. So you don't want to get into playoff records and who's winning and who's not doing this. Because I know your history too.
Don't get Hendo started with history. That is where he will run circles around you. Agro Valley Farm, good evening. Thanks for being here. If you have questions for us, because we are just about to wrap this stream up pretty soon in a nice, neat little bow. If you have questions for us, please drop them in the chat and we will make sure to answer them. What time on Saturday? I believe someone said in the chat, 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you come back by. Hendo and I will be live streaming that game, giving you instant play-by-play reaction as the Baltimore Ravens take down and destroy the Pittsburgh Steelers. What was the question? What was the other question? Was that the only one? Oh, no, Tre'Davious White.
It's Tre'Davious. Yes, he's still active. It's because I lived so long. Wow.
Ouch. I wasn't going there, but okay.
I don't know what's up with y'all young people, but
Cameron,
when y'all see people live to be a ripe old age of 40, how are we considered old? 40 years old.
Mercy. Last thing before we go, family, because see, Hendo starts going way
fine. I will be turning 50.
Woo! We're finally getting it. We're finally getting the truth. Yes, Hendo
I'm proud of my age. I grew up in Baltimore City. I'm proud to have made it to 50 years old.
Yes, that is a great accomplishment. If you have questions for us, Hendo and I will be back one day this week. Don't know exactly, but we will be back live streaming to preview this upcoming matchup. We're going to go, like how we feel, give our complete thoughts, listen to you. If you have questions for us, drop your questions now in the chat, and we'll be sure to answer those questions on the live show that we do later in the week.
I think it's time to go.
Well, they have to ask their questions. They have questions like for example, who is going to be the shining light? Who might be the underdog for our team? Who really needs to step up this upcoming game? who might have gone kind of under the radar? Like,
Yes,
do we
he's still.
expect to see?
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying yes, he's active. So
He's active. He did a good job containing Pickens. Okay. Yeah, he's active. We need to whoever is the best player out there to contain Pickens, let's put him out there. It's certainly not Brandon Stevens. For sure. The chef, you're going to be at the game. That was going to be my next question. Anybody going to the game? Anyone going to the game? The chef will be there. Have fun. Have a blast. Bundle up. Bundle up. Okay, we got that one. So that's one question for us. So Justin Lewis got that question.
What do you think we should do versus Steelers Part 3? Be us. That's the only thing we need to do.
These are the questions that we're going to answer in the next live stream.
Oh, my bad. Well, make sure, you highlight them.
Yeah, I'll highlight them. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you. And you know what? Just do us a favor. Grab the link, send it over to your family, your friends, whoever you know that just really likes this, hearing the Ravens beat down on the Steelers. Go ahead and share the link, share it with your friends. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you. Thank you. What is that about? Congratulations to Hendo on LBHT Pick'em. What happened there?
I don't know. I think he's not telling the truth. It's for this. I won my league. Now, in the LBHT, when I think I lost to him because my computer betrayed me, and for some reason, so because I won my league 3 years in a row, and I don't know which finger. I don't know which finger is this finger or this finger. I don't know which one it is. I'm about to order my ring tomorrow. But since I didn't win the LBHT's league, if I had 2 3-peats in both leagues, I was going to retire. But since I didn't win the LBHT league, it's still a game left, Bazel. What do you mean?
Okay, I got the questions. I see there's another question. Got it. I got your question. I see you, Stone, that the builder refused. Love that name, by the way. So I got your question. We'll make sure to answer that in an upcoming show this week. I see your question here, Justin Lewis. I got you. And did I miss anyone else? Oh, Andre has a question too. So that's Justin Lewis, Andre, and the Stone, the builders rejected.
How, Brandon? I missed a week of football. How did I still win that league? I missed a week of football. I missed a week of picks. But if I did win the league, that means I retire. I retire with 2 3-peats. Nobody can pick games better than I can. I'm retiring and giving everybody else a chance. So if you want to come into my Discord, it should be in the comment section, patreon.com/ROUG. $5 a month. You can get to the Discord. You can get into the Pick'ems League and win yourself a ring. You don't have to go against me. So your chances have greatly improved because nobody can beat me when it comes to picking game.
All right. AKA DLA.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm glad that you are here. I'm glad that you subscribed. Thanks for joining the family. I don't know if you are an AKA, but if you are, it's great to have you aboard, Soror.
Reg, I'm sorry, Reg, you've lost too many times before. Stop it.
No worries. I was just going to say, I don't think I see. Oh, there's another question. Suge Knight. I'm going to write his question down. We will answer those questions on the next live show. So if you are just now subscribing, please make sure that your post notifications are turned on because you don't want to miss content. Oh, I love it. Oh, Sora. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for subscribing. You know what? Just for you. That is just for you. Yes, I had to. But yes, let's go Ravens. Yolanda, you misunderstood me yesterday. I said that if Allen is MVP for beating Chiefs, then Oweh should have been DPOY, Defensive Player of the Year in 2021 for beating the Chiefs. Oh, okay. Now I got it. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're all good friends again right there. You are back on the Christmas list. As long as you don't have anything to say about my guy who is Mr. Double-digit sacks, I might add. We are good. So yeah, thank you for clarifying that.
What's up, Nitro? Like, stop. We're not talking about Owe this whole time. What's up, Nitro?
Hey,
And,
Nitro.
I saw Davon in the Discord. He just sent me something about it, and I'm like, whoa, not my girlfriend. Like, my girlfriend did that to me. My girlfriend, my Joy Taylor, like she did that to me. Wow.
I didn't see it, but I'm sure I have to go into the Discord.
Yeah, it's some juicy stuff.
Okay, yes, aka DLA Ravens are going to set it all the way off, honey. We are going to set it off on Saturday. Come by. We will be live streaming the game. You don't want to miss it. It's always a blast. We always have a really good time. And thank you, Nitro, from the Wonderkin Show for being in here.
And you too, Jose, and the Flex Zone, and and Dre, and everybody. But listen, before we get up out of here, bro, don't do that. But before we get out of here, they did release the list of the Ravens 2025 opponents. So to me, I think that this year, the Ravens, we need to get this chip. We need to go out there and win this season, because every season is different, injuries, just a lot of different things. And yes, we play Saturday 8 p.m. So next season, thought we had a little tough schedule this year.
Ooh.
Next season is listen, our 2025 opponents outside of our divisional matchups.
Yes.
We play the Chicago Bears. We play the NFC North and the AFC East. So we got the Bears, the Lions, the Texans. We play the Los Angeles Rams, the New England Patriots, the New York Jets, the Buffalo Bills, the Green Bay Packers, Kansas City Chiefs, Minnesota Vikings, and Miami Dolphins. So next season ain't gonna be pretty. So we need to get everything that we can this year, because next year is not promised to us.
That's right.
So the Ravens need to get out and do everything that they need to win the Super Bowl. Listen, if it means Baltimore needs to go bring in Odell Beckham Jr. just as an insurance policy.
I've been saying that, and you looked at me cross-eyed and every which way but the right way, like, why we need invite? Okay, there was a question I wanted to get to real quick. It was Ravens versus Bengals. No, Cameron. First round, Bengals are eliminated. With a Denver win tonight, the Bengals have been eliminated from playoff contention. So first game for the Ravens is this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and the Ravens will play the Steelers. So that is our first round. And we are going to, as I said earlier, steamroll over the Steelers. And yes, Nitro, you have been asked. We miss your slaps. That's what someone said in the chat. So the next video you make, if you would please, one for Joy. I mean, I don't think that's right, slapping a female. But
okay, all right.
Not slapping a female, but just for the commentary.
One for Suge.
For what?
Because Suge just is in the chat all reckless, just saying whatever you want to say. That cannot go unpunished. Look at him. That cannot go unpunished.
Okay. Well, again, Nitro, not going to say slap for Joy, because I don't think that's okay to slap a female. But the commentary, like the thought that whatever she said, I didn't hear it, but like whoever said this, or why would you say something like that? That sounds crazy to me. And then give your slap, because people are saying that they miss it. So if you could do that for us, please.
Thank you, Nigerian Nightmare. Calais will not clear waivers.
I hope he does. I'm not saying he will, and you're probably right, Nigerian Nightmare, but I've been asking for Calais. If I had my choice, Calais over OBJ. I've always said Calais, but now that we have the injury to Zay Flowers, so 2 slaps, you got it. All right, I'm going to check out your video. I'm going to check out the next video from the Wonderkin Show. You all make sure you go over and do the same. Jared Green is in here, had a great show earlier. I couldn't stick around for the second half of it, but I'm going to watch it on replay, because that show is always so much fun. And the Flex Zone podcast is in here too.
Yes, but to your point, Yolanda, if they were, is he on the last year his deal?
Who, Calais?
Yes.
I think he only signed. Yeah, I think so.
So I think technically he is to that team until the end of the league year. If they were to cut him, it would have to have had to be before the last game. So they can't just cut him. And even if they were able to cut him, he would go on waivers. So there are teams that have priority ahead of us. that are in playoff contention that would possibly pick them up before we did. So that Calais Campbell thing is dead.
You just never know, right?
No,
that you
it's
just
dead.
I mean,
It's
I get
done.
that, but stranger things have happened in life. So it might be like a shot in the dark. It might be far-fetched, but it can happen. But family, it has been an hour.
Yes. Time to go watch time to watch the last game of the regular season. The first time in NFL history, 2-14 win teams going up against one another for the NFC North crown. Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings. Listen, there is a possibility that the Baltimore Ravens could face either one of these teams in the playoffs. Now, will it be an all-purple Super Bowl, or will Detroit finally get its just due and make their first? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It could be the Eagles. We are going to stomp, curb stomp, mollywop any team from the NFC that we see. And it all starts this weekend versus the Pittsburgh Squealers.
Absolutely. That's right. Family, we appreciate your time. Agro Valley Farm, I do see your question and I have it written down here. We will get to your questions. If you all, those of you who asked questions tonight in the last like 10, 15 minutes, we will make sure to answer those questions in the next live stream that we will do, where we will preview the upcoming game where the Ravens are about to just clobber. Yeah, I said that, clobber the Steelers. So hope to see you very soon.
Yes, indeed. You ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready as well. We will see you guys next time, and appreciate all 200 of you that are still.
Man, I'm just going to sit it down. I'm going to sit it down right here.
What's the record for the longest pick?